Hey YouTube, how you doing? I'm Robin with Bout That RV Life, and today I'm going to be making a review video for a web application that we use to get bookings directly through our personal website rather than going through one of the platforms called Wheelbase. And we enjoy Wheelbase, but today I'm going to give you the pros, I'm going to give you the cons, and I'm going to walk you through a little bit of how it works. Before we get started, I just want to take a second to thank all of our subscribers, the people that come, you watch our videos, you like, you comment, you subscribe, you share us out with all your friends. We appreciate you, and we couldn't do what we do here on YouTube without your support. If you're new here and you don't know anything about what I'm talking about and you just want to know more about Wheelbase, I want to let you know a little bit about That RV Life. My husband and I have a small RV rental business here in Central Washington, and we provide RV rentals to people here in the Columbia Basin and the surrounding areas. Our YouTube channel is dedicated to talking about that business and also other things that we've learned about RVing as we have gone on this journey. So this is a great place to hang out if you are an RV renter, if you are wondering about what it's like to be new to RVing, because we are new. And also if you're looking for tips and tricks just to help you get started and help you along your journey. Wheelbase Dashboard. As you can see right here, when we first log on, we have messages that we have received that we responded to. It shows us the status of those messages. We sent a message, we booked a reservation, whatever it is. Over here would be whatever activity has happened for today. And today we have not had any bookings and we don't have any rentals going out. And so there's no activity going on here. In fact, we don't have anything going out until I think April as of right now. But that's okay because the season is just getting started. So I want to walk you through some of the cool things about Wheelbase, and we have only been using this application for a few months now. We haven't even used it during a renting season so far, so our experience is pretty limited, but we wanted to put out this video because it has been such an awesome addition to our business. We've been able to get direct referrals from our website, which is lrvaldezrentals.com, and instead of having people go through RVshare, you can see I've got that open, RVnGO, or Outdoorsy, which Wheelbase actually partners with, and then giving them a portion of the rental fees, we actually get to keep all of the money that comes through the rentals, with the exception of insurance and tax, obviously. So I want to show you a few different things, and then at the end I'm going to give you my pros and cons list. So in the vehicles tab here, it shows each of our vehicles, and if we click into any one of them, we can see all the different details, messages that have gone out about those, about that particular unit. We can create or edit each unit, each listing, and it automatically populates all of that information to the Outdoorsy listings, which is fantastic for our Outdoorsy listings, but we have to change things manually through RVshare or RVnGO if we're going to do any of those things. We can put notes in here. We can look at documents and files. We can put documents and files on hand. You can update all your pricing. Rules are awesome because we can apply rules across all three vehicles. And so if you're creating a rule, so like this is a pricing rule. If the trip is a certain amount of time, there is a discount. If it's booked during the busy season between May and September, then it's a different pricing. So you can do all of that stuff from right here on this page, and you don't have to go into each vehicle. We can also create add-ons like Wi-Fi or pet fees or things like that, which I'll show you in another area as well. The photos, the details, the availability, it'll show you the calendar. Insurance and roadside assistance. This is all stuff that we can look at. So you get a lot of information in your vehicles dashboard where you can see all the different things that go on here. And then if we had many vehicles, which I should mention, at the time that we signed up with Wheelbase, you could sign up with them with only 3 units, but now they have changed, so you have to have 5 units in order to sign up with them. So this is for people who, you know, they're trying to make a rental business a business, not just making a few extra bucks, making their making their RV work for them, which that's awesome too. Don't get me wrong. But you can sort out your vehicles over here in this area by make, by trailer type, by unpublished vehicles. You can look at whatever you have, and if you've got lots and lots of vehicles, you can see how that would make it really easy to sort through things. You can go into your inbox here. It'll load messages from everyone, and you get to access all of that stuff really easily. If you've got quotes that you're working on, as you can see, I've got a few going here. You can click into those. Reservations, it'll show you all of that stuff. The calendar, so this is pretty cool. It's an easy way to block out dates and things like that. So let's say that you had an event coming up where your family's going camping for the weekend and they're going to be gone March 3rd through the 7th. We can just highlight right here. You click and drag over and it automatically pops this thing up. I can either start a quote from here, or I can just make it unavailable, and I can put in the reason why: family vacation, confirm unavailable, and then it'll block out those dates for you. And again, automatically populates on the Outdoorsy website, so I don't have to worry about someone trying to book over that date and then having something to say about it. So that's pretty cool. We can look at all our customers. We can go in here, again, add-ons and fees, so we can add different deliveries, we can add different generator usages, pet fees, and then you can create rules for all these things as well. So if I go in here and I make this a required add-on, it'll automatically add that in to the quote when I put a quote together for any of the vehicles that I have it set up on. So that's a nice feature if you have any kind of add-ons that are mandatory for all of your rentals. You can get them set up that way, so that's pretty cool. And again, here's the rules. We can add additional rules by clicking the new rule button. We can filter them out. If you have a whole bunch of different rules, you can filter them out so that you can find exactly what you're looking for. There's a premium services section, and this is all about your insurances. So the number one reason why we were wanting to work with Wheelbase was that they provide insurance for the rentals for us as people book through our personal website. So when you work with Outdoorsy directly, Outdoorsy provides an insurance for the rental. When you work with RV directly, RVshare will provide the insurance for the rental. Same thing with RVnGO. They all have companies that they work with, and when a renter books through those companies, they also purchase insurance through those companies. But as an individual who's renting out these RVs, we didn't have a good way to provide insurance outside of saying, okay, go over to our XYZ link and book through there, because then you can have insurance. So we got to searching around and we found Wheelbase. And Wheelbase offers insurance, trip insurance, electronic signatures. You can do all these different things with it, which is amazing because we don't have to worry now about whether or not our renters are covered, and they don't have to worry about whether or not they're covered. There's this GPS section here, which, as you can see, I have not activated it yet, but they do offer an option to do that. And then if you go in here to your account settings, this is all the different stuff that's personal for you. So we're going to have a lot of this blacked out. You don't need to see all the different information that we're going to find in here, but we can control our payout preferences. We can control reservation preferences. So like the default pickup and drop off times, minimum rentals, how long do we want between pickup and drop off of a unit. So if I have somebody dropping off on the 11th, can they rent again on the 11th, or do they have to wait to rent until the 13th or the 12th or whatever? So we can set all that stuff. Are we charging by day? Are we charging by night? All these different things. So it's got lots of things that we can adjust. Email notifications. Now this is a really cool thing. You can sorry, the word is failing me. I'm sure my husband is going to put all kinds of cute little things in this video right here, but you can personalize these emails so that they go out and it's all automated. They'll go out as the person is checking out. They'll go out if it's an abandoned checkout, right? It'll send an email immediately when they've left the website. Hey, we noticed you were getting ready to book this, whatever. And did you still want to do that? In 24 hours, it'll send them another one. And then 72 hours, it'll send them a third one. Hopefully bringing in those people who were like, oh, shoot, I forgot to finish completing that reservation. I'll have to go in there. And then again, as you can see, there's a number of different reasons why it will send messages out. And the most awesome one is when it sends out this end of trip review request, because you guys, reviews are important in a rental business. You want to have good reviews and you want to have lots of them. And the best way to get reviews is by asking for them. So these email notifications are pretty awesome. Store locations. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped a whole bunch. Policies and documents. So in here we have our terms and conditions, we have our rental agreements, and then we can also add in things like owner's manuals for the different units, things like that. Anything that you want to put in here that you want people to have access to, you can put it in here. If I had employees, I would put employees in there. You can see this is me. And I have that information in there just so that I can log in with my own name. However, I never do. Delivery drivers. So if we had drivers that we wanted to hire, we could have their information on file in here so that we know who they are and how many deliveries they've done, all these different things. If we had someone who was looking to rent their RV, but they didn't want to do all the work that goes into it and they wanted to have us do it, it'll automatically calculate the splits, the mileage splits, the generator splits. It'll automatically calculate all of the fees so that we know exactly how much that other person is supposed to get paid out when their unit is getting rented, and that is super awesome. Now, checkout questions are something that I'm really excited about, but I haven't quite started using it yet because all of our rentals have been through people contacting us directly. So when we've done anything through Wheelbase so far, it's been people contacting us directly, not as much as people going through our website. So when you have people going through your website and they initiate the quote themselves and they want to check out and actually book with you themselves, we can set up a series of questions to make sure that people who are booking this way are qualified bookers. So that might sound like we're being ultra picky, but again, we are not talking about letting somebody rent a hammock for the weekend. We're talking about sending out a 24-foot, 26-foot, 30-foot trailer and having people use them. And they're expensive. They're expensive to fix. They're expensive to maintain. And so we want to make sure that the people that are going out in them they know what they're doing and they're ready for the responsibility that it is to be staying in the RV over the weekend. So this is going to be awesome once we start using it. I'm really excited about it, and I'm sure that we will post some updated videos when the time comes. You can set your tax rates in here. We live in a county where our total tax rate is 8.2%, so that's what we've got in there. I can create discount codes, you guys. So this is super cool. Let's say you want to have a friends and family discount. Let's say that you have a favorite podcast like we do and you want to help support them. You can have them shout out your discount code over their podcast, and then people who rent from you through that referral get to use that discount code. And it's stuff that you can set up that is completely personalized. If you want to do you've got someone that you really want to help out and it's just a one-time thing, you can have them expire. Like it's really cool. So this is one way that we are excited to engage with our customer base. Store locations, we have one store location. And then integrations. So in order to take advantage of API keys, roles, and permissions, please activate your account. I don't actually know what this is yet, but someday I will figure it out. The other thing that's really fun is that there are some reports. So we can look at reports about rental prep we can look at end of day reports, we can look at reservation summaries, reservation details. And if we were a big business with lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of RVs, I bet you all of these different reports would come in super handy. But because we only have the 3 RVs, my end of day report is pretty self-explanatory. I know what I did today because I'm doing all of the things, and so I don't need to check in. But if I had employees, if I had different delivery drivers, if I had 15 different units that were going out in all different directions, these kinds of things are going to be super helpful for me. So that is pretty much all I've got for the website itself. So as you can see, guys, there's a lot of awesome features that come with Wheelbase, and we are super excited to get to know the application and get to be able to use it to the best of its abilities. We're excited for the time when we have 10 or 15 RVs that we're renting out and we need all of the different features that it provides. But for now, with our small business, it is really doing its job. It's pulling its weight. We've booked already. So we've been using the application, like I said, only for about 3 months now, and only in our off season. So we've only been using it to book dates for this upcoming camping season. And we've already got 8 to 10 rentals through Wheelbase by itself, which is awesome. Now I'm going to give you my pros and cons list. So it's going to be a quick pros and cons list. My first pro is that it's super versatile. Like I showed you on the website, there's so much you can do with this application. Pro number 2 is that it auto-populates on Outdoorsy. So if I want to update Outdoorsy, all I have to do is update in Wheelbase and it populates everything for me right away. I don't have to go in and mess with anything else. And the third thing on my pros list is that we get to keep all of the money. So when we're booking through Wheelbase, all of the profit comes to us. We're not sharing it with Outdoorsy. We're not sharing it with RVshare. We're not sharing it with RVnGO or anyone else. Now for 3 cons. The first one, with all of the money comes all of the responsibility. So unlike with Outdoorsy or with RVshare or with RVnGO, there is no mediator when it comes to having issues. So if a renter does have an issue or we need to make an insurance claim or anything like that, we are responsible for all of that stuff. There is no middleman. My second con goes right along with my first pro. It's so versatile. There's so much that you can do that sometimes it can be a little more than what I'm able to handle. And like you could see as we were going through, there's a lot of stuff that I'm not using, and it's mostly just because there's so much that we can do that I haven't gotten there yet. And last but not least, it does not integrate with any of the other platforms. So Outdoorsy is the only platform that Wheelbase integrates with, which means that every time we book through Outdoorsy, I still have to go and update my RVshare calendar, and I still have to go and update my RVnGO calendar. And I would love it if also it would update my iCalendar as well, so that I didn't have to think about that either. But overall, I really can't complain. So there you have it. That's my quick review of the Wheelbase platform. I wish that I had way more to talk to you about, but because we're so new at this, there just isn't that much more I can say right now. We will be doing updated videos as we move through the rental season and as we get to see the functionality of this application really do its magic. So the last thing I want to say is a quick thank you again to all of our subscribers. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and hit that button. Give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, tell us what you want to see, tell us what you think. We love that information. So until next time, guys, happy camping.